In today's video, we're going to get into a review of Kitstar's brushes. But before we do that, I'd love to let you know who I am so that you can have context and see why I'm doing this video. My name is Ijoma. I'm a beauty lover, a skincare influencer, a pro makeup artist, and a woman of a certain age. And I feel like all these things give me the authority to do what I'm doing on my channel. So, who are Kitstar's? There is not much to tell about this brand. They are rather mysterious. They have chosen the route of not having a brand owner personality. There's also no about tab on their website. All I know is that they're British owned. They create their brushes with makeup artists in mind, and they're currently one of my faves in my collection. Now, in their collection, they have 7 detail brushes, which are small brushes, and they have 4 face brushes. Now, out of all of them, I have 4 small detail brushes and I have 4 face brushes. They have chosen 2 styles of brushes. One style, the brush heads have goat hair mixed with synthetic hair, and the other style is completely synthetic, making the brushes vegan. And for context, the goat hair brushes are best for application of powder, and the synthetic brushes are better for liquids and creams. It is safe to say that their packaging is very chic. I absolutely love the boxes that the brushes come in. The branding is spot on, and they get an A+ from me. Absolutely beautiful. You get instructions at the back of how to look after your brushes, and the brushes are named at the back of the box. Let's start with the small brushes because it is their small tapered brush that really drew me in, that I fell in love with. I saw it and I immediately wanted to buy brushes from them. I absolutely love that brush. It is one of my favorites. Here she is. This is a small tapered brush from Kitstar's. I obviously have more than 2 in my collection. I absolutely love this brush. This brush is absolutely perfect for those who love to do eyeshadow. This is perfect for definition, getting into the crease, really working well with detail. It is perfect for well blended work. These brushes work well and they work hard. I absolutely love these brushes. It is very hard for me not to do an eye look with one of them, and when they're all dirty, I kind of go looking for them. And when there's a sale at Kitstar, I find myself buying more because I absolutely love this brush. Those with smaller eye shapes and deep set sockets will love this brush as well. If you have a larger eye shape, this could be fantastic to sweep color over the lid. If you also like to use cream eyeshadows for just a one color look, this could both apply and blend it out. It's a beautiful brush. It's been well done. I absolutely love these brushes. I cannot sing high enough praises of how important these brushes are in my kit. Love, love, love. Next up is the tapered brush, which is a slightly larger version of the small tapered brush. I am going to put both of them close together for comparison. As you can tell, there is a difference in size. The small tapered brush is a second close for me. I absolutely love this brush. Everything I have said about the small taper brush can be applied to this. You simply need to take into account your eye shape. The smaller your eye is, the more you may not like this brush, but it also depends on the type of eye looks you'd like to do. If you are one color type of person, this will apply color and then blend it out throughout the crease. It's also really nice to blend above the crease just to finesse and soften the look even a little bit more. Those with larger eye shapes, of course, will enjoy this a little bit more than the smaller tapered brush, but of course it depends how much detailed you get into your eye looks. And once again, cream eyeshadow lovers, I would actually prefer this over the small tapered brush because this gives you a little bit more room to play. Love both of them. Solid members of my brush collections. Next up is the Feather Blender. This is one of their latest brush releases, and it was a name that caught my eye. I thought, ooh, something wispy. And to be honest, I wanted it to be a little bit more wispier regardless, it is still a really good brush. Personally for me, because my eye shape is quite small, this brush is not a fave, but I know I would absolutely love this when working on larger eye shapes. In fact, this is a very MUA brush. This brush is really beautiful if you are doing detail concealer work, like getting really close up underneath the eye, spot concealing as well, a touch of extra highlighting on the top of the brow, at the top of the cheek. You want to be really precise. I feel the feather blender would really do the trick when it comes to precise face work and larger eye shapes, as I had mentioned. Not a fave, but I do see where they were going with this, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. Now for the last of my detail brushes from Kit Stars, this is the Easy Lip brush. I will be honest, I have not used it. I have not worked in a while due to the zombie apocalypse, but I do like the shape. I think it's very clever to have given it a little bit of an angle at the top. I do like how light it feels in the hand, and I do see myself really getting some good use out of this when I get back to work. Now let's talk about the face brushes. So good. So good. Let's start with the base polisher. The base polisher, it has been perfectly named. It is absolutely beautiful when blending in creams and liquids into the skin. Let me just also mention that this is the only brush in their collection that is not vegan. Now, in saying that, I did mention that goat hair is really good for buffing in powders, and personally for me, this brush is a little bit too tight for me to use powders in the way that I like to use powders. I have a feeling you might enjoy this with a powder foundation if you like to really pack it into the skin, but that also depends on your technique. I like to pack and buff, and I feel like I need a little bit bigger of a brush to do some really good buffing into the skin. For me, this brush is a 7 out of 10. I would have liked it to be a little bit looser, a little bit rounder around the edges. Regardless, it is still a really good brush. I just feel like they can make another one with my suggestions. Very much so unsolicited advice. A little bit rounder on the edges, a little bit looser on the bristles, but I still really recommend this brush. I have enjoyed buffing product into the skin. It has a nice weight to it, so you know you can really get in there and do what you need to do. Beautiful brush. I just have a few personal qualms with it, but I still recommend it. Next up is the shaping veil, and I am smiling because this brush is me. Truly the shaping veil. I absolutely love that dome shape. I've always loved setting the under her eye and highlighting the skin with brushes that are shaped like this. I think they really fit well underneath the eye, and this is beautiful. Some will also enjoy to use this to either place down cream highlighters on the skin or to do a precise contour. Beautiful brush. I absolutely love this. It gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. But once again, I have a little bit of unsolicited advice again. I would like another brush like this, but slightly bigger, a little bit more fluffier. Just allows me to finesse underneath the eye, and also allows me to blow out a contour in the way that I like. But regardless, I really think this is a good brush. I have backups. Otherwise, I really love this brush. It gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. Love. Next up is the blush brush. This is a beautiful brush, and it has been made perfectly for blush, and dare I say highlighter. I feel because the brush is a little bit pinched, as you can see from the sides, it's quite pinched, it still makes it really good to apply highlighter to the skin. I found it works best with powders, but if you were to use this to blend creams, you'd have to be excessively mindful because there is a little bit of give on this brush, so you'd have to be very careful about placement and blending. I would also suggest that this brush is perfect for bronzer, especially if you have a smaller face. The fanned outness, the looseness of the bristles are what just make this a perfect cheek brush. As you can see, it really works around that part of the face. the curves of the forehead, the curves of the cheek. I really like this. This is another solid 8 out of 10 for me. Do I have backups? I think I have another one of this one, and I do see myself purchasing more. I don't see why not. Really good brush. Really good brush. Last and not least, let's talk about the powder brush. As you can tell, the powder brush is simply a bigger version of the blush brush. I'll bring them close together so that you can see the comparison. There you go. As you can see, a bigger version of the blush brush. I definitely love the powder brush. I do like this powder brush. The blend it gives the skin is really beautiful. I also do enjoy using this to do contour and bronzing when I really want a blown out look. The fact that the brush is pinched is what really makes it capable of doing bronzing and contouring work. It allows you to really get a blown out look on the skin without going overboard. Now, to set the face, this is not my favorite brush style to set the face. I would have preferred it to be a little bit rounder, a little bit bigger, a bit looser on the bristles, because I really do like to buff in product into the skin. Regardless, I still think it's really good to set the skin. I would enjoy this as well to finish up the skin, like after you set, then finish off with a finishing powder just to give that satin finish to the skin. I would enjoy this as well for that. Regardless, I still love it's a solid 7 out of 10 from me. I definitely recommend this brush, and I do see myself buying it again. Now for my final thoughts. I give Kidstar a solid A. They're top-notch brushes. They're made well. They're makeup artist approved. They're everyday girl approved as well. The brushes look absolutely beautiful. They look very expensive even though they aren't. I do like their price point, but let me implore you to sign up to their emailing list. They are quite generous when they do have sales, and that's how I've been able to accumulate quite a few backups of these brushes. They wash extremely well. I have used these brushes for about 18 months, 2 years. They wash well. I barely lose any hairs. As you can tell, the bristles are white. The bristles are white, and I've been able to get all product out of them without fighting too hard with these brushes. I repeat, a solid A from me. Solid A from me. I hope you found some value in this video so you can do yourself a little bit of happy shopping. Maybe you're looking for some new brushes. I definitely recommend Kidstar's. Down in the description box below, I will make sure to leave all the details of everything I have talked about in this video. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ijoma, and I'll see you soon.